The plane was silent. 30,000 feet above the Atlantic, people slept with their mouths open, wrapped in cheap airline blankets. The cabin lights were dimmed to a soft blue glow. I wasn't sleeping. I was staring at my phone. No signal, of course. Just the last message waiting to send once we landed. Love you. Landing in 4 hours. Routine. Predictable. Safe. That was my life back then. Then the flight attendant leaned toward me. Sir, when we land, you may want to check your phone immediately. There's been a lot of attempts to reach you. I nodded. Business, probably. I closed my eyes. But something inside my chest tightened. A quiet instinct. Like the moment before a storm breaks. When we landed in New York, the phone connected to the network. It vibrated once. Then again. Then again. Notifications exploded across the screen. Bank alerts. Security alerts. Account activity warnings. My main investment account. Withdrawn. My secondary account. Drained. Retirement portfolio. Liquidated. Wire transfers. 7. Total value removed. 32 for $18,000. For a moment, I thought it was fraud. Then the final message appeared. From my wife. Don't bother coming home tonight. Another message arrived seconds later. A photo. My living room. And sitting on my couch, holding a glass of wine, was a man I had never seen before. I didn't panic. That surprises people when I tell them the story. But panic is loud, and loud people lose. Instead, I sat in the terminal and studied the photo. The man was relaxed. Too relaxed. One arm draped across the back of the couch. My wife beside him, barefoot, laughing. The caption below the photo read, Meet Daniel. 3 years of marriage replayed inside my head. Her sudden interest in my financial accounts. The way she insisted on becoming a co-signer for tax purposes. Her new friends. Late dinners. The way she stopped asking about my flights. The pieces rearranged themselves quietly. I called the bank. The transfers were legitimate. Authorized. From her device. With our joint credentials. Legal. Almost elegant. 32 million gone. I should have felt rage. But what I felt was curiosity, because something about the transfers didn't make sense. The money wasn't scattered. It moved through 4 specific shell companies, each receiving identical deposits, each forwarding the money again, layered, structured, careful. That's when I smiled for the first time. Because my wife was many things, but she was not that intelligent. Someone else had designed this, Daniel. I checked into a hotel that night instead of going home. Not because I was afraid, because I needed quiet. For 2 weeks, I behaved exactly as she expected. I sent her a message. We need to talk, she replied with a laughing emoji, then blocked my number. Daniel moved into my house the next day. Neighbors told me later, his car in my driveway, my wine, my pool, my bed. Greed always reveals itself quickly, but I wasn't watching the house. I was watching the money. The shell companies were amateur work. They tried to look international, Swiss registrations, Hong Kong addresses, but the corporate filings were sloppy. Within 3 days, I mapped the flow. 4 companies, then 2. Then 1 master account, a laundering funnel, and that account wasn't empty. It contained much more than my stolen money. Much more. $200 million. That's when the story changed. Because Daniel wasn't just a homewrecker. He was part of something larger. Much larger. I didn't call the police. The police investigate crimes. I needed people who dismantle empires. So I sent 1 anonymous email to a contact I had from years ago, an analyst working in financial crimes at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Subject line, Suspicious International Laundering Structure. Attached were 14 documents, transfer chains, corporate ownership charts, IP logs, and 1 name, Daniel Cross. Then I went quiet. Very quiet. The first raid happened 40 days later. I watched it on television. Black SUVs, federal agents, Daniel's office building surrounded, Financial Crimes Division, asset seizure warrants. They moved fast, freezing accounts across 3 countries. The news anchor said the words calmly. Authorities believe the network may have processed more than $200 million in illicit funds. Daniel's face appeared on screen, pale, sweating, being escorted into a vehicle. My wife stood outside the house when agents arrived later that afternoon. Confused, angry, still barefoot. She tried calling Daniel. The phone rang endlessly. She tried calling me. Blocked. Then the reporters arrived. Questions. Cameras. Headlines. Wife linked to laundering suspect. Her voice cracked as she denied everything. I watched from Switzerland, from the balcony of my newly purchased villa. Snow on the mountains, silence in the air. Then my phone rang. Once, twice, 10 times, 50 times, 71 times. Finally, I answered. Her voice was shaking. Please, tell me you didn't do this. I looked at the Alps and said nothing. A week later, another call came. Not from her, from my daughter-in-law. Her tone was sharp, annoyed, judgmental. If you want to join Thanksgiving, she snapped, come wash the dishes. For a moment, I admired the timing. My family had believed my wife's version of the story, that I abandoned her, that I disappeared after losing money. Narratives are powerful, but evidence is stronger. So I sent one message, 2 photos. The first showed the villa terrace overlooking Lake Geneva. The second showed the property contract, my name, my ownership, no debts, no wife. Then I wrote one word, enjoy. Within an hour, my phone started ringing again. Family, friends, even my daughter-in-law. Voicemails stacked like dominoes. 71 calls. The same number my wife had tried earlier. Funny how desperation repeats patterns. I didn't answer any of them. The trial ended quietly. Daniel took a plea deal. 7 years. Asset forfeiture. My wife was charged as a financial accomplice. 3 years. Probation after. She sent one letter to Switzerland. Apology. Regret. Loneliness. I didn't open it. Some endings don't need dialogue. They need distance. Now I sit on my terrace most mornings. Coffee. Mountains. Silence. People think revenge is loud, explosive, violent. But the most devastating revenge is simple. You let the truth speak, and you step aside while it destroys them. Because betrayal doesn't deserve fury. It deserves exposure. And exposure is permanent.